Welcome back to the Suraj Podcast. In the previous episode, we heard the story related to Baba Gurditta's passing, where he climbs up a mountain to get to Buddhan Shah Fakir's residence. This is where Buddhan Shah passed away, but before passing away, he made a pact with Baba Gurditta that he should also return here when the end of his life approaches. So to fulfill this pact, Baba Gurditta comes back here. He lays out some fabric not too far from the grave of Buddhan Shah, lays down, and ends his life. So now chapter 38 begins with all the devtas, the gods in heaven. Hearing the news of Baba Gurditta's passing, they quickly jump on their vehicles to come down from heaven to bring Baba Gurditta's subtle body, Suksham Srir, for lack of a better term in English, soul, to the afterlife. So all the devtas are shouting cries of victory, Jai Jaikar, and they are throwing fistfuls of flowers in the air. The heavenly dancers, the apasras, are ecstatically dancing in happiness, and beautiful songs can be heard in the air as they're traveling down. They get to Baba Gurditta's body and they all bow down, telling him to quickly come with them. They're saying, blessed is Baba Gurditta, the warrior, son of a guru, and also the father of a guru. So this is alluding now to how Baba Gurditta's youngest son, Guru Hargobind, will be chosen for the next guru. They all, before taking him up to the afterlife, perform arti, devotional ritual and prayer in front of Baba Gurditta. They place him on their air vehicle, which then travels high in the sky. All the devtas are following behind Baba Gurditta's vehicle, which is glistening and illuminating the way with its radiance like the sun. The vehicle with Baba Gurditta is traveling along, and all the devtas are traveling along behind it. But the devtas could only travel so high into the sky as their abilities could let them. So wherever they had to stop because of their limitations, that's where they did their final bow down to Baba Gurditta before he continued forward and higher. So in the last stages of heaven, the land of the highest gods, that's where the remaining devtas could go. That was their limit, and from there they all bowed down. But Baba Gurditta continued further from the land of the gods, Sodapuri, and eventually he traveled alone to Gurupuri, the land of the Guru. Meeting with others there, they all bowed down to Baba Gurditta. He rested there in the eternal resting spot. That person, Baba Gurditta, who, even by taking his name, sins are removed. So now back to Kiratpur. The servants of Baba Gurditta were looking around for him. They didn't know where he went. They were asking everybody they could if they had seen Baba Gurditta. And a few residents of the city told these servants that they saw Baba Gurditta leave the city and walk up a mountain nearby. So the servants then climbed up that mountain where Buddhan Shah's grave was. When they got there, they saw Baba Gurditta laying on the ground, and they wondered what he was doing there. When they got closer, they saw that he was no longer breathing. They were shaking him, but still Baba Gurditta didn't get up, and they realized that he had passed. They ran back to Kiratpur to tell Guru Hargobind. When they got close, they began yelling out. Tears were flowing from their eyes. Guru Hargobind asked them, "What happened? Why are you crying and yelling like this?" They replied while crying, saying that your son, the great virtuous one, had climbed up a mountain and now he has passed away. Listening to this, Guru Hargobind already knew this, being all-knowing, but took some of his servants with him and asked for them to show him where his son had passed. And when this news was also heard in the residence of Guru Hargobind, everybody began to cry, and the city of Kiratpur soon erupted in sorrow. Bidichan and the other warriors, however, followed along with Guru Hargobind up the mountain, and they saw Baba Gurdata laying there, not breathing at all. Like any other person, Guru Hargobind saw this and was struck by grief. He said, "O son, where have you gone now?" All the warriors along with Guru Hargobind also began to cry out. They were saying things like, "He was only in his youth. This wasn't the proper time for his death. Why have you left us?" As the residents of Kiratpur heard about this news, they all ran up the mountain to see. They all bowed down to Baba Gurdata. The two wives of Guru Hargobind then arrived, Mata Nanaki, Mata Marbahi. When they saw the face of Baba Gurdata, they were gripped by grief. They cried out saying, "O my always obedient warrior son, the eldest of the sons of the Guru, you brought us so much peace. You were always so happy. For what reason have you left us for the afterlife?" Then Harai, the youngest son of Baba Gurdata, saw his father's deceased face and began crying with his family. He was only of a young age. He was trying to cry and scream out, but no noise came from his mouth. His throat was closed with grief. Then the servants had gone to bring the supplies for the funeral rites, the logs of sandalwood, which would be forming the funeral pyre, along with oil, clarified butter, etc. But even when they were performing these duties, they were crying along the way. That neem branch that Baba Gurdata planted in the ground before passing away, Guru Hargobind saw that and then proclaimed that this branch should be protected. This will be a very large tree one day. Saying this, they then performed the funeral rites. Harai was there to help out, bathing the body and then dressing the body of Baba Gurdata. Guru Harai then also lit the funeral pyre. All the rites were performed while everyone had tears in their eyes. Everyone then, after the funeral, then they bathed and then they went into the divan, the court session with Guru Hargobind. The servants brought in prasad to be distributed out to everyone. Guru Hargobind then told the congregation, "In the future, if anybody comes to visit this location, this spot associated with Baba Gurdata, and gives money for the distribution of prasad, all of their prayers and wishes will be answered. Those who bow down to this neem tree and view it with their eyes will have all their wishes fulfilled. Getting darshan, the sight of this neem tree, will be equivalent to seeing my son, Baba Gurdata. In this location, there will always be a flow of prasad distributed to the congregation, which will come from all around the subcontinent. A great structure will be constructed here, and by seeing it alone, all one's sins are removed. And by doing selfless service here, one's heart will become pure. They will attain a devotional practice, bhakti. They will attain wisdom, gyan, and the path of Gursikhi. Even if there's a massive storm, even then prasad will be handed out to those who come here." So Guru Hargobind said much praise like this about this spot before leaving back to his residence. It was the year Samvat 1692 in the month of Assu on the 10th day of the waxing moon, Sudhi Dasmi. This correlates to Friday, September 25th, 1635, when Baba Gurdata passed away. Everyone then left the funeral crying out while remembering Baba Gurdata. Tirmal, Baba Gurdata's eldest son, however, didn't come to Kiratpur. He stayed in Kiratpur with his mother, the wife of Baba Gurdata, Ananti. He was thinking that this was the final straw and that now he'll never meet with Guru Hargobind or that congregation. So the entire town of Kiratpur was in shock and sorrow. They were thinking that such an obedient and brilliant son of the Guru had passed away at such a young age, and no one really knows why except for Guru Nanak. This is how chapter 38 ends, and in the next chapter we'll explore more the mindset of Baba Gurdata's eldest son, Tirmal, who ends up staying in Kiratpur and not coming to Kiratpur for the funeral. So that's what we'll pick up next time. But as always, we would like to thank those who are supporting the podcast through the Mangalacharn Patreon page.
Sri Akal.